Hello, Patrick is my name and solutions is my game. And so the solution to capitalism is going to be the main topic of this video. The solution to capitalism is a reciprocal economy. The reciprocal economy is based in a resource, it's a resource-based economy. So it's primarily rooted in the idea that we can regulate the resources through, let's say scientific means or logic, rather than it being left up to a mystical hand that will allow blah, blah. We need to go into a new direction. The profit motive in itself is kind of one of those major problems where the profit is in the best interest of a very select few people, and it's to the disinterest of the rest of the population. So you basically have a highly or very deeply selfish, egotistical, egocentric kind of premise to our motives of activity, where, Jesus Christ, you have to have a certain amount of money to be able to essentially live on this planet. So hey, let's get as much money as we can. So hey, let's make it so that every product that we create ends up breaking down over a very short period of time, designed obsolescence. And that's not how that's not in the best interest of our society and our planet. So we need to redefine the profit motive. Well, what are we going to redefine it to? Well, from, instead of it being returns over expenditures, which is very sort of, I'm going to get more than I give, what sense does that make? Instead of that kind of a basis, we need to have a new profit motive, one where the ecological, societal, or human benefit is observable by your activity. Your activity has to be something that everybody can recognize and acknowledge as being a benefit to society. And that's not necessarily everybody, because some people will be like, well, that's not a benefit to society, blah, blah, blah. Well, to the majority of the people, that's something that they like and enjoy. Not everybody's going to like the way you play guitar. But if you play guitar really well and people enjoy it, then that's giving some kind of benefit to society, a benefit. You are being beneficial to society in some way, shape, or form, and therefore you deserve to have some kind of compensation. And the kind of compensation that would come with this, in order to dissolve the necessity of the banks and the taxation and the corporations that revolve around this kind of selfishness, there has to be a new paradigm where, basically, the society, the government, let's call it a society, a new form of government wherein the people are basic. It's not democracy, because there's still organization to the powers, but that it's a sort of well, I don't want to call it socialism either, because that's kind of a misnomer as well. But let's just say it's a new form of government, wherein basically that government provides, or that society rather, provides the necessities of food, clothing, shelter, transportation, and information in medical care to those people who have given back to the society. And the premise of this is in contrast to, I'm going to get more than I give. Instead, let it be, I'm going to give more than I get. And what I give is however much I get in return. See, this is an idea where basically whatever, however much I give is however much I get. Okay? And then eventually that can lead to a more, I guess, I'm going to get less than I give, or I'm going to give more than I get. But for now, it should be something where it's more egalitarian, and the equality factor, where basically what I give is what I get in return. And that's the premise of this idea, that what I give is what I get. That's very simple, very simple. But I think a lot of people have a conflict with this concept because it's like, oh, it's not capitalism. Well, you know what? Capitalism failed, and it will always fail. So let's move on. You know, let's not live in this fantasy world where capitalism actually has some kind of beneficial quality to it. It doesn't. It doesn't. So, moving on from there, the solution is to have a reciprocal economy where I give as much as possible and I get back as much as possible at the same time. Now, these citizenship under this kind of a system would be something that's earned. It's something that is requested. It's not something that you are inherently born into. So there's a choice in this system. You choose to be a citizen, in which case, basically, you have the rights, the privileges of the society. The society is revolved around the idea that the incentive to move into the future is based on my desire to contribute to society. And that will to contribute to society on a massive basis is what the economy is grounded fundamentally on. That's what it is founded under, is that the idea of we are going to give as much as we possibly can to the greater society, planet, what have you. And now, this is a very, very limited perspective, what I'm giving you, of this concept of reciprocism. What it requires is basically for there to be kind of people who evaluate you, and people who are there to sort of give you the benefits, to reward you for your activity, rather than punishing you. This is a concept that is radically different from what we currently are suppressed under, which is that we are punished for our misdeeds rather than rewarded for our good deeds. And this is a completely different concept, but this is what basically behaviorism would suggest, is that we have a system that rewards our good deeds instead of punishing our bad deeds. So I hope this was at least interesting to you, and that you got something out of it. This concept will be more and more delved into as I make more videos, but for now this will suffice. I don't want to make a too long video. It ends up being disconnected and so on and so forth, so I'm just going to make this as short as it is. I will put a treatise that I wrote on the subject of this called The Merits of Reciprocism in the description below, so take time to look that over. It's about 11 pages long, so it's not something that's exactly, you know, piecemeal. It's a treatise. It's something that I actually tried to explain the concept of, so it's a real document or whatever. And if you're interested in it, you know, take a look at it. So with that, love and appreciation to all of you. We are oneself. Let's work together to create a brighter future and be the change that we want to see in the world. Love and appreciation.